Indiana in the Morning from the Voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160, 101.1 FM. We are brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. We remind you our interviews are presented and protected by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And joining us this morning with our phone hookup, we want to say good morning to Ariane Szu. Ariane, good morning.
Good morning, Chuck.
Did I get the pronunciation correct?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Now, you're speaking to us. Where are you this morning?
I am at our headquarters in Washington, D.C.
And, of course, you're with the National Geographic folks, correct?
Yes, I'm an editor for their kids publishing division.
I've been talking this morning about a book that is out. If folks are looking for some great Christmas gifts for their youngsters on your list, it's called Bet You Didn't Know Number 2, which brings me to ask you, there was a number 1, correct?
Yes, there was.
Now, how did that book do?
And so it did really well. And so we decided to do a second one here to answer even more of kids' burning questions about the world. And, I'm happy to say we live in such a wonderful, wacky, bizarre, delightful place that we had a lot of fodder for this second book.
Now, this book is a hardcover book, lots of color, lots of pictures. You'll find some maps and some diagrams as well. How long did it take to put this publication together?
Oh, my goodness. That's such a good question. So for a book of this size, it probably took about a year or maybe a year and a half, and that includes printing time and shipping and so forth. But for our in-house team, it probably takes, I want to say, somewhere around like 4 to 5 months to put everything together. It's really a big team effort. We have a team of writers and researchers, a photo team, and then, of course, everything needs to go into design to make these big, beautiful spreads with lots of images and the right balance of text and photos and so forth. So it really it takes a while to put these big, beautiful books together.
How many people have to check and make sure that the information and the facts that are finally published are absolutely correct? Is that a big team as well?
Yes. So everyone reads, our team it's actually a pretty small team, but we employ a lot of freelancers to help us, a lot of really leading fact checkers and leading experts in their various respective fields and so forth to vet this information. It goes through a very rigorous process. So not only is the writer supplying at least 3 super solid sources per fact. The book also goes through fact check, and then if we have any remaining or lingering questions or there's any ambiguity, we'll reach out to professors or other leading experts in these fields to verify. So, and then on top of that, the book goes through copy editing and proofread, and I'm happy to say that our team of copy editors and proofreaders are phenomenal, and a lot of times, they'll catch things just because they're voracious readers themselves. So they just, have so much information, and they've been fact checkers and copy editors and so forth for so many of our books that they just know this information off the top of their heads, basically. So yeah, it's a big team effort. I would say maybe something like, 10 to 15 people or more are vetting the information, and that's on top of the fact that our writers are using super solid, amazing sources.
The name of the book is Bet You Didn't Know, Volume 2, National Geographic book for kids. Outrageous, awesome, and out-of-this-world facts. What age range would you suggest to get a hold of this book?
So that's a great question. I think this book is perfect for all ages, but it's specifically geared for ages 8 to 12. I know that I'm 31, and I am shocked and surprised and delighted by all the facts in this book. And it's funny when I'm hanging out with friends or talking to my fiance or something. I just mention these facts to them, and they're all so wowed and amazed. And they're always like, how do you know all this stuff? And it's just from reading our books, honestly.
184 sections or maybe 184 different topics, including eye-popping facts about the human eye, Fabulous facts concerning fashion. Also in here, you'll find freaky facts about fungi and shocking facts about lightning. It covers a complete gamma of different topics, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. One of my favorite facts is a study showed that students who wear a Superman T-shirt during their exams may get better scores.
Oh, really?
Another fact that I really loved was that goldfish can learn tricks. A fan-tailed goldfish named Albert Einstein knew how to play fetch, swim through a hoop, and play football.
Lots to learn and a lot to take a look at here. I think I have one of your books on dinosaurs that we talked about maybe a year or two ago. And I said earlier this morning, a great book for the children who are first learning how to read, but even the younger kids. I know I have some grandkids. They are just learning how to read, and after you sit down and read this book to them about the third time, you can point to a page and they can tell you exactly what's on that page.
Yes, absolutely. So Bet You Didn't Know, too, is full of a lot of really short, surprising, wow-worthy facts about our world. And you're right. This kind of format is actually really great for beginning readers or, kids who are reluctant readers. And they're learning while they're being entertained. So it's a good way to kind of sneak in some educational material. We call it edutainment, because kids just spend hours pouring through this book because it's so jam-packed with amazing information that's just so browsable and so easy to digest and just so delightful and surprising and entertaining.
I have a section here entitled Sugar-Coated Facts About Candy. You have an item.
Yes.
Item here about the lollipop is said to be named after a racing horse named Lollipop.
Yes.
Another fact about candy.
Yes,
in 1969, the astronauts of Apollo 9, the space mission, nicknamed one modular of their spacecraft Gumdrop. Is that right?
Yeah.
The photos, the color, just fantastic here on this book, Bet You Didn't Know, put out by the folks of National Geographic. If people would like to pick up a copy, where is the book available? Can they get it online, or is it available in bookstores?
It's available wherever books are sold. I would recommend, if you want to get it before Christmas, it's on Amazon. You can just search Bet You Didn't Know, too, and it's up there. You can use your Prime membership or whatever to get it to get it really quickly. And you can also go to kids.nationalgeographic.com for a bunch of for that book or a bunch of our other books as well.
Ariane Szu from National Geographic joining us this morning here on Indiana in the Morning. Ariane, how long have you been doing work like this for National Geographic?
Since 2012. It's been a while.
What are some of the other books that you've been working on that you think might make a great Christmas gift as well this year?
Well, aside from Bet You Didn't Know, I would recommend, if kids are a fan of Weird But True and they're into this, the pithy, surprising facts format, and I don't know a kid that isn't, I would highly recommend checking out our Weird But True books. We have some other Weird But True books out this year. Of course, there's also Weird But True Christmas is a book that we've done that's 300 facts about Christmas. We also have a Weird But True spin-off series called Weird But True Know-It-All, and it's really a deep dive into a single subject. So we have Weird But True Know-It-All U.S. Presidents, which is all about the U.S. presidents. We have a Weird But True Know-It-All Greek mythology. So, kids ages 8 to 12 just really seem to gravitate toward Greek mythology. I think it's, a combination of the storytelling, but it also, it's fascinating to read about, these just amazing stories. So we've got that book, and then we also have Weird But You Know It All Ancient Egypt. That's another one that it's really, really fascinating. My fiance actually read it before bed each night, and he was like, did you know this? Did you know that? Did you know a mummy's bandages were roughly, like on average, 3 miles long or whatever? And just so many Weird But True facts in there. So if kids love this Weird But True format that is in Bet You Didn't Know, I think they'll really like our Weird But Trues as well.
Without giving away any secrets, are there any further projects that you'll be working on at the National Geographic that are coming up soon?
Oh my goodness, so many. Our team is so busy, especially like right before the holidays when a lot of layout reviews are happening and so forth. So we're working on so many different projects. I've got a book coming out that's actually a little bit of a more serious topic, but it's about this little-known story from World War II. I won't go into too much beyond that, but it's by an award-winning author, and I'm super excited about it. And I'm also working on this other book. It's Surprising Stories of Everyday Stuff 2. The first book, Surprising Stories of Everyday Stuff, is a small format book that really tells you the surprising, bizarre, and sometimes hilarious origin stories behind the things that we use every day. So it's split up into themed chapters. So, like, there's one chapter on food, there's one on fashion, one on, like, sports and games and athletics and so forth. One story, for example, talks about the invention of basketball, and I had no idea it was basketball is a relatively recent sport, and it was actually invented by a gym teacher who was trying to get his students to be enthusiastic about something, so he actually used like old peach baskets as the original basketball hoops. You know, the origin story behind ketchup, how it was actually this fermented fish sauce from China. There's just so much fascinating information in there. And actually, Bet You Didn't Know, too, also has some fantastic, short facts about the surprising stories behind everyday things. Like, for example, Pac-Man, the video game, was actually started by a guy when he was looking at a pizza pie, and someone, I guess he ate a slice, and he was looking at the leftover pizza pie, and he thought about, wouldn't it be, he kind of had the idea for Pac-Man from looking at that pizza, and that fact is in Bet You Didn't Know, too. So it's really, you'll see, I guess from me talking, you probably realize that a lot of our books really draw upon the surprising and the really wow-worthy, mind-boggling stuff that kids will find entertaining and just absolutely delightful.
Well, Ariane Szu, we thank you so much for taking time to join us this morning. Good luck on your next projects. The latest from National Geographic Kids, Bet You Didn't Know, Volume 2. It's outrageous, awesome, and out-of-this-world facts. We are the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160, 101.1 FM, Indiana in the Morning, brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. And again, our interviews are presented and protected by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people.
What you doing?
I'm working on my rolling over.
Why are you doing that?
I left my job down at the distillery, and they told me I'm going to have to do a rollover with my retirement money. I learned me some gymnastics back in high school. Ain't I good at doing my rollover?
Gymnastics for a rollover? Oh, you really need some good financial help from Inverse Financial. They know all about